skills is probably the area that comes up most frequently when we talk to organizations about the barriers to becoming more data driven. And actually, it tends to manifest itself in two really key ways. So the first one is there's a real supply and demand issue in terms of what you might think of as data professionals, whether that's engineers or architects, analysts. The sort of the disciplines that surround this area, so data science and machine learning and those sorts of things, there is a real sort of shortage vis-a-vis the demand, and the demand is multi-sector. So if you're a public sector organization trying to hire a data engineer, you're competing with financial services, with the commercial sector. It's a really, really competitive market, and we find that ourselves. And so one of the key challenges is, how do you start to think differently about your value proposition to these candidates? Because you almost certainly can't compete on salary and sort of quantifiable remuneration. So you have to think differently. You have to think about what are the opportunities that you can give to the market, but also how can you, so to speak, grow your own. And we're starting to see a number of different organizations really invest in sort of learning for, their analyst community, for example, which for many, many years have probably spent most of their time effectively collating and doing the sort of the grunge work that means that you can actually get some analysis done on your data, and actually investing in them as, the sort of the capability that's going to drive the agenda forward, rather than going out into what, as I've already made the point, can be a very competitive market. And I think the second area is really around that sort of wider data literacy. So it's all very well sort of having a cadre of data scientists and engineers who can brilliantly model and work with data and drive all sorts of insight. But if you haven't got people with that innate curiosity, with the ability to ask the next question, so you give them a dashboard that shows them a trend, and they immediately want to know what drives the trend. Can we predict how that trend would look in the future? And if it's shaping a certain way, what should we do about it? Those questions should be coming from the business, and the answers should be being developed by the data capability. And I think that they're the two areas really that are shaping skills programs as we're seeing them, in terms of trying to make sure that you're doing both at the same time, because you'll need both in place to really get the value from your data.